There is some variation in what type of paperwork is needed for imports. Import documentation depends on which country is doing the exporting and importing. However, there are some common forms needed for most imports. Purchase orders ensure that the import is valid. Purchase orders can also be used in the place of a letter of credit, although this is not advised. Purchase order funding is a short-term loan that gives funds to a person expecting import goods that have been pre-sold. These loans, however, depend on credibility and possibly the credit rating of the importer. A letter of credit may be needed for making payments on the imported goods. The letter of credit is a crucial part of import documentation, as it is a guarantee that the importer's financial institution will pay for the goods. Without this, the exporter would have very little security over the goods being paid by the importer. It would be unwise to send a shipment without a letter of credit. Liter per carriage shipment documents such as a bill of lading for sea shipments or an airway bill for freight shipments are needed. These documents provide proof that the goods have actually been sent by the exporter. These forms give evidence that a valid contract of shipment has been made. Although these documents are generally non-negotiable, negotiable bill of lading forms can be purchases. Certificates of origin are vital because many countries will not accept the importation of goods from specific countries, or they impose tariffs that may apply for certain types of goods. The certificate of origin is signed by a designated authority and enables the goods to be imported. Inspection certificates may also be required import documentation. If the importer requests that an inspection be made prior to the good shipping, then this import documentation is imperative to ensure that the goods will be accepted upon arrival. A packing list is an inventory of all the packages and the contents of each package. It is imperative for this piece of import documentation to be accurate. Any deviation from the packing list can cause customs to reject and confiscate the shipment. The invoice is also a crucial document that needs to be accurate. This is by far the most critical import documentation needed for accepting shipments. A complete summary of the goods should be made part of the invoice. Although these are the most common types of import documentation needed, there may be other documents required which varies from country to country. When importing food and animals, some countries have strict laws governing their acceptance. You may also need a permit for these types of products. It is imperative to understand what each country requires before shipping or receiving out-of-country goods. Having correct and accurate import documentation will allow the transition of the imported goods to be a smooth process. Documentation is one of the most important parts of international trade, as it is closely monitored. Any deviation from the required paperwork can be disastrous for the importing or exporting company.